Welcome to the Call Her Sam podcast. I'm your host. My name is Sam. A big shout out to Revive Cafe, our sponsors. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do hit that subscribe button and also hit us up in the comment section. Would love to interact with you more. Today, I'm excited about my guest simply because the kudos, the ululations when I heard the news was just incredible. I'm finally managed to get her here. I have to understand that she had a busy schedule, but she's here finally. I'll be speaking to our first Zambian, let's just put it out there, first Zambian woman CEO of a mineral exploration company, Kobold Metals. Mfikeyi Makayi, ladies and gentlemen. Please.
I'm quiet.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Sam, how are you?
Long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I haven't
Last
seen
time
you
I
in
saw you was
a few, like more than a year ago.
Farmers Market,
Farmers Market, that's right.
Yes, our regular haunts. We love farmers markets. We love the peaceful places. But yes, first Zambian woman CEO.
Yes, I guess.
Take a deep breath.
I took the breath last year.
So we're talking behind the scenes first. I have to ask you this. We'll get down to the nitty-gritty, but are you on social media? Because this was blowing up all over. It was everywhere.
Yeah.
First Zambian woman CEO, Mfikeyi Makayi. I heard it on radio. People were talking about it. They're like, "Come on now, this is amazing." So are you on social? Did you check the socials for this?
Yeah, well, I have limited access to social media. Obviously, I have a professional platform on LinkedIn. And then I've left the more social platforms over the years. So people are phoning, and obviously you know where to go look, if you know. But now I've kind of dialed back on social media over the years. Just came with time.
Okay, so are you on Facebook? Are you on Instagram, Twitter?
Oh, I'm on Twitter.
Formerly known as Twitter?
Yeah, I'm on X, formerly known as Twitter. I left Facebook in 2019. It was just growth.
It was time.
Yeah, it was just, I withdrew, and that was after my mother's passing. So what was meant to be like a short stint away has been like, 5 years away. So I didn't see what was going on, and I think that was better for me.
Okay. Just so you don't...
You have to manage yourself.
Yeah.
You have to manage yourself.
Yeah. I have to admit, I only also came onto social media recently. I was on and off, but I just came on and I'm like, okay, well, you filter what you take in and what you take. So basically, I don't blame you for stepping back a little.
It's not because there's anything wrong with social media, but I think I've got things to do. Like, I'd rather read a news article, which I would read on the internet, but you can be easily distracted. So there are a few platforms I'm on, but I'm not like on the major platforms.
Okay. So let's begin with this childhood. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
Were you a rambunctious child? Were you the nerd? Were you the quiet child who was observant, or were you the loud child?
So I grew up, for context, I grew up with a single mom, three brothers. I've got other siblings, but my mom, three brothers. And in terms of personality, I think because of our age gaps, I was an all-over child. So the rambunctious word that you used, I was all over. But I was also a bit of a nerd because I liked reading.
I like reading too.
Yeah, I liked reading. So there's reading because you have to, and then there's reading because you like to read being a kid.
Yeah.
So I loved the fantasy readings, and I think I had a parent who made me watch all these classical movies like Fiddler on the Roof. So I love musicals. Everyone grew up through the sound of music, but my favorite was like Fiddler on the Roof and things like that. So then I grew up in a home full of African music. So I was a kid that was all over. I played sports a lot. I played outside. Every time power would go, we would be chased to go outside. So I grew up in a block of flats in Lusaka, and there was a ground in between. So everyone would be playing football. And I just happened to be in an age group where there were more boys than girls, and there's no one to play with. So I ended up playing with the boys. So I learned how to play football. I was always running somewhere. Cycling somewhere. I was always doing something. It got me in a
So
bit
you were
of
like the top boy, the classic.
Yeah, the classic top boy.
What you say?
Yeah.
I would never. Back then.
Back then, it wasn't an issue.
Because it wasn't an issue, but I was like, football now is for boys. I want to play the girls and the dolls and everything.
So I had dolls.
Yeah.
So I had Barbie. Don't get it wrong. I played house.
You played with Barbie too?
I I played with Barbie. I played to my house games. I give it to my poto. However, I used to run away from the kitchen. I hated, especially when I had to learn how to cook in Shima.
Yes.
But yeah, I didn't have a range of limitation on what I could play. There was nothing like, this is the girls' stuff, this is the boys' stuff.
Okay.
I had older brothers, and maybe from a budgetary perspective, whatever toys they left were just passed down. It was just cost efficiency.
Yes.
It was a cost efficiency. So even clothes, find here's a t-shirt, you pass it on. Yeah, so it wasn't like, oh, this is for Shani. That luxury wasn't really there growing up, This middle class home with a single mom, so she had to manage her costs. Looking back, that's how I take it.
Yeah. Oh, and the thing is, I hated hand-me-downs, and I think my sisters, we actually talk about this, and they're like, oh, we didn't like it that we had to wait. I'm like, yeah, but life happened, and that was the situation we're in, so you take it as it is.
Yeah, we used to have salaola. We used to go to the market with my aunt those days, Soweto market, you find filas when fila was a shoe, or fubu, for us by us, and you go out, that was our norm. There was nothing like brand new clothing, like, maybe there would be a trip once in a while, auntie and an uncle has gone to the UK, and they bring some, but I think most of my clothes were given, but I never had an issue, even now, I'm a thrift person.
Can we please talk about thrifting? We need to go thrifting. I'm a thrifter. I love thrifting. Thrifted shoes, y'all. Thrifted shirt.
Yep, thrifter. It makes sense, and also it minimizes waste. I try to be a minimalist in how I live and the things I have. So rather than buy like a big fancy new couch, if someone's giving it away, I've got no issues looking at it and if it's in good condition. So some people feel differently, but that's not for me. I'll speak for myself.
Okay, I love that. You're a minimalist. Tell me more about that, because a lot of people place a lot of importance on the material things. Like they need to have this in the house. So you're like a minimalist, and you spoke about not having a TV in your house.
I have a projector. I've had a projector since university in the UK, and I came back with the same projector.
Girl, no TV.
No TV.
Okay, listen. I lived with no TV for like a little bit. Like, okay, I had to read a lot as well, but when I got the TV, now it's like, I need a TV.
Now the projector since 2013.
And you watch your series? What series are you picking on?
I don't have any series. I don't really watch series like that. So I watch business news. So business news, or I'll watch something on YouTube. I've got this thing for history. I'm a fan of history.
Oh, okay.
So I'll watch history, modern history, contemporary history, ancient history, African history. I'm a fanatic about African history and colonial history. So I'll watch documentaries on that endlessly. I don't have a TV series, and people laugh at me because I don't have a Netflix account, so they'll talk about a show.
At least I have a Netflix account.
I'm in the dark. I don't have to be fair, I actually don't have time for it, and I never had time for it even before. It's not even happened now. I'll just hear, this was on Netflix. It's just life. But it's not to say that because I don't have it, I'm better than anybody else. I just have different priorities.
Okay, fair enough. Understandable. We're talking behind the scenes, and you told me about a birthday party. Please, can you give us more context on that one?
So you asked me if, what were your birthday parties like as a child? I never really had any. I think I had one, and 3 people turned up, and I was traumatized. That's from your class, if you're a class of 20-something, and then the invites go out. Now, look, it could have been bad planning by my mom. I don't remember what happened, but I remember 3 people turned up, and shout out to Kete, because she's still my friend today. She came.
Kete, you are an amazing friend.
She lives in the US. But I think I literally was traumatized, because, you can feel as a kid, like, wow, people don't like me. So I don't even remember, birthday cakes. Still, my mom made sure that there would always be a cake. So that was normal. We always had a cake. But I was just phobia.
So you've never had a birthday party since then?
Like a birthday party? Like as an adult, I'll just invite family, friends, or if it's... So our family does it a lot. Like my aunts, my cousins. We sing for each other. But it's not a party. We just come, hey guys, we're cutting cake. Everybody go. Then we have a whole singing ceremony, with everyone. That's the party for us, and we're cool with that.
3 people though.
3?
How old were you?
I think I was in grade 6.
Whatever
age grade 6 is.
Grade 6 is 10?
Yeah, so somewhere there when you're kind of forming your own identity, and you're and then the katebo is set up, and then it's not full.
Where's everybody else?
So again, I don't remember. Maybe it was a planning thing. Did we send it? I don't honestly remember.
Things like that happen.
But I remember that 3 people turned up, and then you can hear adults talking. Okay, no, let's just start.
Oh, at least the 3 people turned up. So
at least they turned up.
It's fine. It's fine. You're friends with.
I think it was the neighbors, and then kids from the neighbors. Because I remember Kete was the only one from school.
No.
And then the other 2 were neighbors. Trying to just I think I clearly have buried that memory.
I was like, it's fine. It's fine.
We accept.
How Michelle Obama said she has a kitchen table of reliable, supportive friends, people that have been there with her since they were appointed, since they went to the White House. And she said some people had to fall off. So how do you handle friends who don't know how to handle your success?
So interesting question. It depends on. So friend has a lot of classifications.
How so?
Well, you have your best friends. And then there are your friends. There's I know you, hello, let's meet. And then there's acquaintances. There are classifications. So you do manage your circles. I don't know if it's about handling success, but you have to. It's a sense of you have to protect certain elements of you, so you don't lose your center. You don't lose yourself. Okay. And your friends are supposed to be your honest mirror. They should be able to tell you, here something is not right. And it's about having honest mirrors who reflect who you are, irrespective of whatever changes have come in your life. Okay. So there is a nucleus that you must just be your center. They are relatives, but I'm talking about your nucleus of friends. So that's going to be small. You can't have. I saw something on the internet. If you have too many friends, you're careless or you're reckless, because you can't be friends with everybody. Everyone's cup of tea.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. So that makes sense. So if it's not handling success, I don't know. Maybe because I already had a small center of friends even before my career growth. And I've maintained that circle. Yeah. And people come along sometimes later in your life and they become your friends. And then you may outgrow, or your other friends may outgrow you through time. It could be geographical distance. It could be, like they've just moved to another place. You don't see them anymore. Yeah. Or they've had a life change, or they've been maybe medical, or they've settled down. So there are those who, they don't fall off because of any particular reason, but they fall off because life happens. Yeah. And then there's those that are just there through all the cycles, the births, the deaths, the illnesses, the depressions, and they're just there. So you have to find that core nucleus. Yeah.
And those are the ones you hold closest.
Those are the ones who bury you. I always say that.
They'll be at the bedside.
Yeah.
Like,
they're the ones who bury you. Or, I hate to say it, and or vice, but the point is, I look at when my mom passed away and her friends who were there, people who knew her 70 years, Wow. Yeah. And then you understand friendship in that regard. Yes. All seasons. Yes. Yeah. So those are going to be few. That's just natural. Yeah. You can't have, the big funerals and you see hundreds of people, but there's always...
That small that you can depend on that will always be there. They're there in the background. Oh, Kate.
Sure, she's one of them. I just mentioned that because she turned up to my birthday.
The fact that she turned up to your party, guys, and she's still...
Amazing person.
We need friends like that. I love that. Now, let's go back a little. You are appointed CEO of Kobold Metals. How are you feeling in that moment when you get the news? What was that moment for you?
Oh, so when I got the job.
When you got the job.
Oh, it was an interesting one. I got it the day before Women's Day. I got the offer on the 7th of March last year. I guess I can say that now. And I think I was in shock when I was told. So obviously my immediate bosses are in the US. So it was in the night in Zambia and I was sitting and they're like, you decided to offer you the job. I think I was like silent. I was like in shock. It's a shock. I was like, okay, like you guys are serious about this. Like, are you sure? Are you sure?
Were you questioning yourself?
Oh yeah. Question yourself.
Really?
If you don't question yourself, something is wrong. So I was like, are you sure? So they said, when can you give us a response? So it took a bit of time. It took a few days.
Really?
Like 4 days.
You know how some people be like, yes.
No, I took it. So obviously.
But I like that you took a few days because you were...
So there's two things. It's more than the job. There's also a contract. So you need to understand what you've negotiated for. Wow. So it's not about getting carried away with the title. There's a contract, there are deliverables, there's expectations. Two ways, contract, employer, employee. Yes. So I wanted to read through that and understand what it meant, what the duties meant, and what other things are put. You check things, my leave day, where do you things like that. No, you have to. It doesn't matter the name of it. So, and then there's the title that comes with, yes, there's a weighting to it. So that's why I had to take a few days. And then I had to realign myself. You have to think, okay, do I relocate? And then I didn't have to. But okay, then you have to think about your current employer. I had to respect my current employer and my colleagues. So I had to calculate that out. You don't run off into and think, oh, I've arrived.
Yes, you basically didn't like shut the door and you're like, bye, I'm out.
Yeah, so, and it took a few days to think about it. I think I responded like after 4 days, accepting the role. And then I had to manage my current employer, and I put in not 30 days notice, I put 3 months notice, because I wanted to leave a team intact in my previous employment. I wanted to leave a structure. I wanted to hand over everything and make sure that whatever I'd done where I was leaving, things continued. Yes.
That's how you do it. Because a lot of people would be eager to just leave. They would focus more on this new appointment and not really pay much attention. They're just like, okay, bye-bye.
No, I mean, I think from a leadership perspective, you learn leadership on the go. If you really want to be effective and a servant leader, make sure you leave things in order. It's kind of like, and again, life lesson. When you lose a parent, when I lost my mom, you kind of see the chaos that ensues in African homes about leaving things in order.
We lost our dad as well. The chaos. It's still going on today. It's crazy.
Yep. So preparation meets opportunity. Yes. So I learned it through, my mom's loss. It wasn't as terrible, but I think they're just elements that you say, sometimes being prepared. Things like preparing a will. Excuse me.
That's important.
Yeah, and just psychologically understanding that this is a major life change. So wherever you live, just leave things in order. That's what legacies are built on, whether it's within a company, whether it's within a country, whether it's within a family. Preparation. Yeah.
Preparation is key.
And handing over notes.
Oh, handing over notes.
Hand over notes, even in leadership, I mean. Yeah.
So how do you allow your brain to rest from the noise? Because I'm sure when you were appointed, you get the job. Obviously, there's people in the background saying, she's a good for the job. How do you allow your brain to just...
No, my personal hobbies, activities. I don't have a TV, that's one way. Not watching stuff, you're not on social media, you're not distracted, you're not swayed by your emotions. Someone has got this opinion. You have to be focused. You have to be centered. I spend a lot of time in nature. I love being outside. If I could live outside, I love being outside.
Oh, so you're one of those if you could live outside?
Yeah, I'll live outside. I camp. I camp outside.
Hey, girl.
I do an annual camping excursion solo.
Camp?
No, we do.
No.
Our ancestors were camp.
No, I
do an annual solo camp, 3 nights out alone in the bush.
No way. Wait. So you're like in the middle of nowhere?
No, in the middle of nowhere. I mean, there are places in Zambia, you can go to Kafue National Park and go to Nsobe here, if you're on the Copper Belt.
Oh, no, never camp outside. No. Simply because we saw those snakes, I was like, no.
No, you carry snake repellent. Tent pitch. I've done that, I think, 3 years in a row. And I do it in June when it's cold. Don't ask me. You ask me how I get quiet. That's how I get quiet. June, so blanket. Outside.
Why?
You asked me how I quiet my mind. I'm sorry, there's no network. There's no network. So 2 nights, nobody can reach you. That's how you quiet your mind.
Girl. First of all, I would never go camping. It's
different strokes for different folks. Yeah.
Because I have too much trauma from the movies I've seen, from the snakes I've seen. No, I cannot.
No, but
I'll just keep thinking.
Carry what is necessary. That's when you actually understand survival. I mean, I'll carry my bike and I'll cycle through the park there, or even if it's I'm around. I haven't cycled in a while, to be honest, or I go for a run. That's your mind is free. No phone, like run. Normally people want to track with their gadgets. Yeah. Sometimes I run with a tracker, but sometimes I run with you just go.
Yeah.
So no gadget, no device. That quietens the brain. Just settles.
Yeah. So you're just like
different wavelengths of the brain. You listen to 432 hertz music. I listen to 4. Like if I'm studying or working, I'll have either light jazz, but that's for me. It's quieting. I might be studying or working, but I'm quieting or just listening to 432 hertz meditation. Sit in silence. If you can't sit in silence for even 2 minutes, just dead silence. But the more you practice it, and I started by doing 1 minute, 2 minutes, up to 20 minutes seated. You build your mental silence, your ability to be still.
Wow.
Peace, be still.
Oh wow! I love that. You build it, and then you're basically training your mind and your brain to. And naturally, thoughts will fly through. Like when you're trying to sit for 5 minutes, silence, everything. Oh, I forgot to do that. Yes. So over time, you'll pick that. Then it will just start
calming down.
I'll try that. I think the longest I've ever gone is, I don't know.
All of that is on YouTube through the projector. I learned that through the projector. I honestly, it's not like I woke up and came up with anything new. Everything is there. I just went on YouTube.
Using your projector.
Using my projector.
Now, what keeps you up at night?
Me, I sleep. Everyone in my family laughs at me that I take like 30 seconds to sleep. The minute I see a couch, sleep anywhere. I can sleep anywhere. So what keeps me up? Yeah, I sleep one day. What worries me maybe is the question. I don't know. Let's see. It's a good question. Everyone has natural worries. Just, I don't know. Like,
you feel like, I need to achieve this.
No.
Bucket list. I mean, you have literally achieved something that a lot of people want to achieve in their lifetime. So,
it depends what you're chasing.
But what's keeping you up at night? Nothing.
Okay, it depends what you're chasing. I guess what's important to me is my health.
Yes, health.
You can have money and be unhealthy.
Yeah, and
then you'll be paying for it. So my health.
Yeah.
So maybe what keeps me up is health. Yeah, if I complain about something, it's my health. Like as you get older, you start to feel the creaking bones and things like that. It starts coming along.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure that when you're done with whatever the life mission is, leave something. Legacy. But I sleep, okay, but maybe, it's legacy, but it's not legacy in my name.
Okay.
You know, if you look at Zambia, look at Africa, just the conversations we have, people with third world poor countries. So I think it's the selflessness. Just leave something for someone else. Whether it's your name on it or not is irrelevant. Just pass things down, pass knowledge down. Impact. So if something keeps me up at night, it's just making sure that we leave an impact for when we're long dead and gone.
So you mentioned that you adopted your nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
That was like something you just wanted to do.
Yeah.
Because they're like, that's...
Well, many African homes will get someone from and help educate them, right?
Yes.
That's just normal for us. Nephew here, there. And my mother used to say, hey, don't have children, this. So you see where you can help. You see where you can help, because if you want to uplift, find those who maybe can't advance themselves, then you uplift them. And then the world becomes their oyster, and you tell them, pay it forward in whatever way you can pay it forward. So I've done my best with, getting one of my brilliant nephews, because in return, you kind of learn more from them. Yeah. And you're basically building a village and a resilient society. Yes. So it's more from an educational perspective. Two of my nephews live with me. There's a niece who just needed some financial sponsorship for college. That's for me. My mother would always say, you little children, you won't manage. So start getting grade 10 and above, you can manage. But, because I remember there was a time we went to the village and there was a girl within the family. I don't want to give too much details, but she was small and highly vulnerable for many reasons. She was a proper orphan. Okay. And my heart was breaking. I was like, maybe I can take her. My mother looked at me and said, no, that's not for you.
Don't do it.
That's not for you. Just because I guess parents can recognize characters. This one is too small for you to handle that. They can pick it up and you respect it. Yeah. But I just saw this child in total distress. Yeah. She's fine. She was taken by someone and she's in school. Oh, okay. But that's when I realized, I'm like, you go to the village, your parents came from those places and they made it out. And you look and you're like, because they left, then they helped educate us. Now look at this, what's their chance, So you started pulling one by one. It's okay, you come, when you're done with college, I get another one. Yeah. Done with college, I know it's not always relatives. There are those who are just out there looking for some help, like, I just need something for my college, I need to graduate, and I always just pay the institution. Oh, okay. This is Zambia. Pay the school.
School straight, not to pay
pay the school and ask for the grades. And the condition is keep passing until you graduate. Okay. And obviously they get like an allowance for upkeep and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yes, that's good. Now, I won't go too much into this, but you've been appointed CEO. Obviously people are wondering, looking at your fingers and like, nothing. So they're looking at you, they're like, wondering, okay, so where's the stuff?
It's not happened.
Where's the list?
It's not happened.
So they want to know, they're like, hey, I mean, you should have somebody to be like, babe, no, they don't fetch, whatever, directed this, blah, blah, blah.
It's just not happened.
Which is okay.
Doesn't mean you're not looking.
But you
this
know
is
how
business.
But you know, but you know how people are like, you are not complete if you don't have. And Patricia, they think we will wither up and die if you don't have someone to be there.
So I guess when it comes from our parents, they generally mean well, right? Mm-hmm. They want you to have a companion. Mm-hmm. So I think when you get old, my mother will say, you'll be looking at the walls. She said, my mother is from Eastern Province. She started a long time ago. My mom passed away 5 years ago. She was saying this 10 years ago.
Oh, wow.
You know? So they mean well. But, lives. Is it the end of the world? Lives. And I'm still young. We'll get married at 6.
65. I mean, come on.
Well, that's not an invitation, guys. It's not an open invitation. I'm just saying.
Don't start hitting up in the DMs.
Yeah. It's just misplaced focus. If people say, oh, you're in this, and then how come this? It's unrelated. Mm-hmm. It's completely unrelated.
I agree. Yeah. Because, let's focus on this is amazing. This is what she's done. Can we not bring in these other little factors? Mm-hmm. The children, the husband, that's just right. Mm-hmm. It's not, it won't make or break you, right?
Yeah. I sleep at night.
You are thriving.
Yeah, I sleep at night.
Yeah. Staring at the walls is fine. It's fine.
It's quiet. Peace of mind. The other one. You asked me how I quiet my mind. Sorry. It can sound like shots fired here.
Not at all. No. We're not firing shots here. So at the moments when you feel isolated because of the position.
Do I feel isolated?
Yeah.
Oh no. I'm in touch with myself. When you say isolated, what do you mean? Like friends or like...
Yeah, like do you just feel like...
Oh yeah, so some people want to treat you differently.
Yes.
So this thing of calling people by their titles, I guess it's a parastatal thing.
Of course it is.
It irks me. They just call me by my first name. Because if I lose my job, you're not going to call me that, right? You're going to call me Mfikeyi. I was Mfikeyi first.
Yes.
So I think that's something, just the titleism. I don't know if there's a term for it. Or it might not be the job title. Yeah, I really don't like it. And then, look, my friends are just funny. They like to make fun of me. Oh, I'll call you boss lady and what. It's irrelevant. But what's boss about it? Just let's be human beings. So I'll give you an example. If you see the company's global execs, these guys are PhD holders from Harvard. They are Harvard physicists. The guys I report to. Kobold has, I don't know how many people with PhDs in different fields. We don't walk around going, Dr. Chite. They are first name basis. So they find that a bit strange. They appreciate the culture of working and operating in Africa. It's across, I've not in Zambia.
Yeah.
So they kind of find the titling a bit strange because they are very first name basis. It doesn't take away from their credentials. They will state their credentials when it's required. Do you understand?
So can you say that again? It doesn't take away from
their credentials of being PhD holders or being
when
required.
Because I've noticed with a lot of people who are in these the positions, they want to be referred to as Dr. Chite or Dr. whatever. But I'm like,
look, if you're in the medical field, yes, you're a doctor something.
Yes.
And many other fields, you're that. So if you are in your forum of your expertise and you have attended some, that kind of comes naturally, right? But I'm talking about everyday general dialogue, the way we are talking here. You have, let's say I have not a doctorate, I'm not a PhD.
Someone actually want me to refer to them as doctor, whatever. And someone's actually said that to me before. Refer to me as doctor. I was like, okay.
Yeah, but are we talking about the topic of the expertise? Anyways, again, this is my personal opinion. I think it has sometimes it distracts us from the real value and the real work. When you're hung up on what we call you, Yeah, we shouldn't be hung up on that. Let's work, let's deliver, whatever it is. I'm an engineer and I have no problem stating my credentials. People call me Mfikeyi. In the right forums, within the engineering circles, they will use the titling. I'm not hung up if I'm not called by my first name. I'll not stop and say, well, you did not refer to me by engineer. Guys, there are things to do. There's things to do. There's roads to build. There's infrastructure.
Please. Imposter syndrome. Are there times when you feel like you have to over-explain who you are?
Do I have imposter syndrome? Yes. Every day you kind of wake up and
you do?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness, no.
I don't want to call it normal, but yeah, you freak out. It took me 4 days to respond because I was freaking out, probably.
Were you thinking, but me? Why me though?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. You sit and say, all over the world, are you people sure? I remember, I asked them, are you sure?
It's you.
No, but I asked them during the interview, I said, are you sure you want to do this? No, it hits you. And then the other one was, and I should say this because it matters to us people of African descent. And I'm saying, are you sure you don't want a white guy? Like, you don't want a white person for this role? These are to face along the years in a sector that historically didn't have a lot of diversity. Oh. You wonder if you are enough. Not even in this job, even before in whatever other roles that I worked in. Whether you are a lady, whether you are an African or a black person, or you could be of any other race, you will wonder. That's from a global view, you will wonder. So I remember just asking them that, and they chuckled. They were like, we're going for the best in competence. It's not about how you look. You are the right person for the job.
Oh, I love that.
And then you obviously, when you start working, and then there are scenarios that come up, you're not going to know everything. You're on the job.
Yeah.
Remember, it's mineral exploration. I come from operating mines and mine service supply. So exploration it's a science. I'm not a geologist, right? I don't claim to be. I'm not a geologist. So I'm sitting in a room. Firstly, I'm a PhD. Then science. Yes, I was great at science, but we're talking about grade 7 science, and then PhD science different. And then you have to sit and query and quiz, and Kobold uses a lot of tech in the work that we do. So there's a lot of self-learning you have to do. You have to read up, catch up. If there's a report that is out, you have to read it almost 10 times slowly to absorb, compared to the person who's an expert in that topic.
Oh, okay.
So you've not arrived and said, okay, here I'll just be sitting and pointing. You have to perform. I have somebody I report. Everyone has a master in this world, So because you underperform, that's why I read the terms of the contract, the requirements, and then you sit and people are having, a scientific discourse. Who says this one says this. Like, So, yes, imposter syndrome will come. You'll be sitting there like, hey, I'm sure. Even I bought a dictionary in geosciences. Literally, I had to buy like you can get a normal dictionary. Yeah. But in earth science, it's called the Oxford's Dictionary of Earth Sciences. Oh. Because there'll be these deep scientific geologic terms that you need to understand. So every time there's a Zoom meeting, what is this? I don't know everything.
Hey guys, hey. So what would you like people to know about you, about Mfikeyi?
I don't know. I battled to even say yes to having this podcast.
I know you did. I know.
I don't know. It's nothing. They know enough. I'm a Pan-African.
That's what you want to know about you?
Yeah, maybe people know, maybe they don't. I'm a Pan-African. I want to build my continent. Okay. And I want us to be responsible for our future and our economic development. And one way is by getting involved when I say getting involved, that's such a loose, long word, but I'm in a sector that is sometimes demonized. People see mining, some people see money flashing. Oh, of course. Yeah, they think Bill Gates' money is sitting in my pocket, And the other side is people maybe don't know, understand how managing and running a sector like this, I'm just a small cog in the wheel in the sector, but managing a sector like this really builds nations. End to end, but it needs a lot of people, it needs a bit of everybody. Okay. Everyone involved, playing their role at an individual level, at a communal level, at a societal level, national level, continental level. That's how we'll see Africa really becoming a superpower, because people know we have the resources, we have the populace. We do have the resources. There's a lot of young people, there's a lot of labor out there, but there's just certain things we need to do in national continental interest and not out of self-gain. We will not finish it. We will die and there will be problems here. So enjoy life. I mean, I do like to enjoy my life. Like I said, I go camping.
Camping with the snakes.
You talked to me earlier about materialism. Like I like nice things. I like a great holiday. But I just don't want the person who just accumulates and then what? Back to that thing, the parents go and then now these don't say nothing, So pay it forward to the next generation, whatever they look like. Good point.
Now you're a black woman in your position. because I was doing the research, I was reading up on you, I was like, okay, then this. Do you have to work twice as hard just to prove that, hey,
Yeah, you do.
you belong?
I remember saying this. I went to Nortec some years ago to meet some students there, and I did a short interview there. You do have to work twice as hard to be acknowledged half the time.
Okay. So do you find yourself having to say, reintroduce yourself?
No. You just have to work twice as hard in the background. It's a background thing. It's all the pre-work that you do before you are delivering. So, it's kind of like, I like using sports analogies because I'm a sports person.
Okay.
It's, people don't see the training, right? Let's say you're talking about like a Africa Cup final. Let me use something we can all relate to. A sports final.
Yeah.
You have trained 2 years before the AFCON, right? AFCON just ended now.
Yeah.
So the next AFCON's in 2 years. And you start your group stage. There's all the training that happens before you get to the stage. And then obviously if you progress to the final. Most people see the final.
Yes.
The presentation is the final. Yes. They do not see the behind the scenes. So if it's a play, behind the curtain, the prep, the trials, the mistakes, the coordination, the coaches. And I was coached and mentored. I didn't do all of this alone. There are people in my life beyond my family who coached and mentored me in a career perspective over the years at different stages. So all those people play a role in what is seen as the final product at the end. So most people seem to see this. So in that prep, yes, you do have to work twice as hard because some people come from a place that's enabled. Let's say I'll now use the World Cup. You are Zambia and you are playing Brazil. You have to work twice as hard as Zambia if you know you're going to be marking Neymar. Because you have to study him. Okay, no, he goes like this. He's very fast. He runs at this speed. He's this height. So you make sure you are a bit short, but you have to mark that guy that height. You start doing serious jumping, things like that. So you do that even in the workspace. Sports is the easiest analogy because it's where you see the results. But at work, it's the same thing. In our careers, just in life, it's the same thing. You will find that because of circumstance, you just happen to come from a place that is not as enabling. So you have to do twice the work.
Yeah. And do you think black women, when black women speak their truth publicly, do you think that works?
That is a very tough question because again, I don't represent all the black women in the world.
No, she's not speaking for all the black women.
But we do have we have something in common with us because we are women of African descent from everywhere. Maybe ask a question again.
When black women speak their truth publicly, do you think it works? Because a lot of women have been silenced. A lot of people, black women speak about pay disparities. And sexual harassment in their workplaces. Also, just it can even be in their own homes. So when you speak publicly, people don't want to hear. They're like, just keep quiet. It's not our fault.
And that's why I said it's difficult to speak for black women because sometimes it's us black women also telling your fellow keep it quiet from the culture in the family. No, don't talk about this. Yeah. So sometimes people will say it's the men, and I'm not trying to pick on anybody. My point is, it's a societal issue on both sides, and it's a function of upbringing. I gave an example where my parent did not say this is for girls, this is for boys. In terms of tasks, right? If you want to play with this toy, play with it. If it helps your learning, right? It helps your cognitive function. I mean, I played with, and I'm digressing, but I'll come back to the point. I was able to do things at home because I had a parent who enabled me to be my truth. I used to dismantle fans and VCRs, and I tried to build a simulation of the Kariba Dam. My mother let me do that. Yeah. So she enabled me to be creative. So imagine now where you can say to a little boy, you can do all these things, but they go, don't do those things. Now you keep growing like that. It starts to set in someone's mind that this is not for me. This is not for me. So when someone then starts to speak their truth, yes, there'll be eyebrows like, wait a minute, why are you doing that?
Yes.
Yeah, there'll be that. But I think women in history, everywhere, black women in history have broken a lot of records and holds. Yeah. It could be sports, it could be in science. If you look at the USA, a lot of African American women who did things in science and discovery. In Africa during the liberation struggle, there were a lot of women who were pushing with us. A lot of their stories are not told.
Yes.
But there were a lot of women at the forefront pushing for the liberation struggle in different formats, in different ways. I mean, if you kind of read the books of what people had to do as people, whether they were moving spy documents or whatnot. These stories are there. They're not out there.
They're not out there.
You know, so it's back to that silencing. No, it can't be you. You know, the president should be a man, that sort of thing. Yeah. You ask little girls. I remember, I don't know where I was a few years ago, and I was asking them, what do you want to be? Everybody said everything that you expect from intelligent. It was a girls' school. Intelligent girls. Here in Kitwe. I'm trying to remember which school it was. Not one said the president. I just found it so strange.
So they're all just saying lawyers, doctor.
Lawyer, doctor, pilot, which is okay. Look, the
It's
engineer, it's fine. But and those roles are okay. But no one just said, I want to run this country. It was so stark because the pass rate of that school is very, very high.
Wow.
So I was just like, at some point, something has limited to say, if I say president, it's not for me. Another one,
they'll just be like,
you will not even hear someone say a businesswoman. Because that is really also a career. Like, deliberately, I don't hear, like, I remember my young brother used to say, I want to be a businessman. My mother would be like, no, you know what I mean? Because it sounds, you know what I mean?
What?
But there was that confidence, say, I want to be a businessman. Nobody will come and say, I want to be a business. Basically, I want to run and manage enterprises. There's no shame in doing that. But I've never heard a little girl say, I want to be a businesswoman. It comes with, I don't know.
Because we stifle them. We've been told, you can't do that.
Yeah. So
that's a man's job.
It's back to that point. Yes, it's there, but it doesn't mean feelings are not being broken.
Lord Jesus. Yeah. No, it's not COVID, by the way. It's not COVID. The thing that just does get you thinking, like, black women, when they speak up, they're quickly just stepped on, like, be quiet. Don't speak your truth.
I remember someone told me, I just gave an opinion. You've given me a good point. I've actually had a memory now. We were talking about something. And someone just said, that's the problem, you're argumentative. I said, hey, dude, I'm just giving an opinion. I'm giving you asked me a question, I gave you an opinion. Yes. And then it just goes left field. So at that point, I just disengage because I realized if you can't just have a healthy debate, forget what you physically see. Let's talk about the topic of discussion.
Yes.
But the thing is that you're too... So they're trying to shut you down for being opinionated. But again, I just told you I sleep at night, right? So I don't go home saying, can you believe they said that? Like, if you keep doing it, then you're already going to a defeatist mentality. You just acknowledge, like, okay, someone that just can handle the fact that you have a different opinion. And you can debate your point. So I don't go leave the conversation or the argument as if, like, oh, wow, they said I'm argumentative. Then you just lower yourself.
Yes. So or they said I'm too much. I'm too,
be like, too much.
Now you have to shrink yourself.
Be too much. Too much is what has changed the world.
How many times have we been told as women? You see, just what do you want?
I believe you can.
I've done that so many times.
You can respect your culture as African women.
Yeah. You
can respect your culture. It's a balance without disrespecting a person, and vice versa. If we really want to have an impact in society, everybody's views should be heard. Every argument doesn't mean it's a fight. An argument is healthy debate for new ideas. You argue your point, I argue my point, we agree to disagree, or I convince you, or you convince me. And I've said, oh, you know what, your opinion's right. I've changed my mind.
Yeah.
And then there are those who just, no!
They just stay there. And even if the paper says they are just there, and
they're only there because they're arguing with the female.
They don't want to see the video.
So, again, I never put myself in a circle where I've put myself in that position to argue with that. Yeah. It will come up. But then I kind of say, oh, no, this is not for me.
And you won't go
nothing. I've learned nothing. If I've learned nothing, I don't need to be in that conversation,
I love that. I love that. Thank you.
Thank you.
For holding me this time. Forget this. See?
You've started.
No, I'm just happy you came. I'm just happy you agreed. Because I've been trying so hard. If you only knew the process that it took. How many people? But we're here. And I thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for watching. Join us next week Thursday for a new episode of Mfikeyi Makayi. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for her. We'll see you soon.